Well, here is what we're talking about. Cosmos by Carl Sagan. "100! December 7th, 1980, 7:10 p.m. Since this is the 100th entry, I should make it a special one. That's what I'm going to do. One reason for making it special, and I will do that reason, is this log is a source of learning material for me. However, by the time I really need this book for a special reason, like planning a government or something, there will be so many days to go over, I won't know which ones have the really good stuff. If I condense each 100-day group, I can just look at each 100th day page and get insight as to what the first 100 days were like, or any other segment." Hey, let's pause right there and just analyze that for a second. So I'm already writing my journal thinking that it's going to be important to me sometime in the future. Well, my reason is so that I can plan a government with all my great philosophy and ideas. Well, not exactly, but it has proved important to me 40 years later as the source for the content of this channel. I mean, the script is written, and although it's a lot of labor to put together a YouTube channel, that part of it is done, and it's really just a matter of, getting up early in the morning and getting in the studio, scanning the pages, and then reading them to you. I just think that's interesting. Let's carry on. One drawback to this plan is, what if on that 100th day I am not in a good writing mood and I do a lousy job of describing what the 100 days were like? Or I just don't have the time to write it at all, hardly. Well, this is something I'll have to get good at and then learn how to summarize a 100-day span, if that's what I'll do. So what I've planned for this occasion to make it a decent entry and review for a 100-day span is what I've mentioned before doing. And this is the whole point of this log. I will go back on many of the past entries and read them well and get into what I said and try and deduce the frame of mind I was in when writing that day and week. I will say it again, that the whole major reason of this book is to find out how my mind has worked and expanded so that I can grow at the time upon doing it. From just understanding how I operated in the past. The whole thing is very hard to do because psychiatry is very subtle. The old concept about learning from history. And these 100-day sessions of going over past works will give me the practice and keep me in shape for when this log will become important to me to use. WR lightning bolt. I've just invented a new symbol, WR lightning bolt. It means a break in writing. Writing. Get it? The lightning bolt is the break in writing. Lightning, where is he going with this? I don't know. I will use it along with other on-the-spot symbol descriptors like period with a circle around it equals end in thought. I have to stop for my own good. I guess that means I have to stop for my own good. It gives a feeling of being there when I'm writing. When you reread an entry which helps you experience the frame of mind I was in. Well, here goes. I'm going to go off now for a while and do some reading and idea charting. Back in a flash. Old fun term, but I want to take my time. Okay, so what's going on here? It's the 100th anniversary of my journal writing, the 100th log, and I'm assessing what is the point of writing the log and what I'm learning and coming up with tools and techniques and tricks. Pretty fascinating. So I guess I've taken a break here, and I'm going to go back and read those first 100 days and then get back to it. It looks like that. Okay, well, let's find out what I learned. I've just come back after reading only a few, mainly the first ones. It is much more interesting to read my ideas I put down than what actually happened that day. Watch for a change now in how I write from now on and after every 100-day session. I pick up new writing skills. Gonna go read some more. Oh, okay. Well, that makes total sense. I'm learning that already as I'm reading these. Yeah, in reviewing my first 100 days of journal writing, I decided it was more interesting to read the ideas that I was writing about other than the day-by-day occurrences. So does that mean going forward we get more philosophical insight, or is it still going to be just Dear Diary, I met a girl today. What was the feeling and everything else behind meeting the girl? That's the kind of stuff. I mean, as I'm reading my journal from so long ago, yeah, I'm craving more of that insight rather than the day-to-day events. Although the day-to-day events provide context as to what was going on. So it's always a balance. Anyway, I'll shut up and just read. Many things come to mind. One is, writing in pencil fades away. I like to use pencil because I can erase and control better, but it doesn't last like pen. Oh, wait. I'll stop right now. Last time I'll stop, and then I'll just read the rest of this entry. No, pencil is better. Trust me, you're going to see in later journal entries, because I've seen them, where something got on the page and wiped out and made all the pen bleed. Pencil, being graphite, although I'm claiming it's fading. No, it was not fading. It just was written lightly to begin with, probably in like a number 1 pencil. But the pencil lasts over the years way better than the pen does. All right, no more stopping. Let's go all the way through. Many things come to mind. One is, writing in pencil fades away. I like to use pencil because I can erase and control better, but it doesn't last like pen. Another thing is this. Reading about how I thought sort of brings me back to it. Now I'm slightly experiencing the problem I always had, but I've gotten over it. The problem of worrying I wasn't putting enough explanations down. But then I realize how I've gotten over that, which means my writing skills are shaping up. My mind is working better in explaining things. I have already experienced my improvement because my speaking and debating has gotten pretty sharp. See, this log has paid off very well already. Now I will always put much more effort into my writing because the more I do it, the better I get. Oh, silly me, I already knew that. But I never had definite proof. I'm going to do some more reviewing. I have been putting little notes next to a few of the entries that I feel I need a little comment on them. Mainly they are just candid comments on how sloppy something is or anything along that line. Nothing else to really comment on except the big idea. So I'll take a break, then come back and start on a fresh piece of paper with my overall summarization. So here it is, my big descriptive summary of what the 100 days was like and what I learned from it. And here it is not. There is no big revelation or anything, and I can't summarize 100 days. I have learned much, though, in a short 2 hours. And one of those bits of learned info is I can't describe what I've learned because it's not a separable thing. You do see what I've learned, though, by what I am saying. I learn in progressive steps, and each one is related to the other with no big revelation of anything. Something may be surprising and new, but I already know how fast and how I will learn it, what I need to know to become what I want to become. Just live and learn from what you live. You only live at a certain practical rate, so I will learn at a progressive rate, therefore. And learn is what I'll keep on doing as long as I live. I do believe that man can never stop the desire to want to know everything. Therefore, he will always learn and therefore always live. But we and I have fault that interrupt the learning process and temporarily keeps us and I at a null state. My desire to learn is taking over now because my writing goes on into the speculation of how we are, and as I write, I learn, so I write on. I am caught now between the want to write about myself, for this is what this book is for, and the want to continue on about how humans are on the whole. Well, now that I've just described what happens, the situation, and choice is clear to me, so I will go on about myself. The ideas on man I'll save for my other notebook, the ideas for use one. As I get back on the track of myself, I start noticing how long I have been writing and fatigue sets in. Was that a wise choice above? See how a certain decision affected what will happen? Just a thought to remember when faced with a choice again. But then if I study each thing before I get into it, I get too automated. That's what I fear about learning too much. I fear that I will get to know myself so well that the things I do won't be done out of instinct or emotion, which I then fear takes the mystery and excitement out of life. But then I can say that knowing what you're doing doesn't allow you to get into problems which you can say is good. But then I can say that you have to have bad to have good. See how interesting things can be? Even in knowing what goes on, there is still enjoyment, so I won't worry. But I still want to comment that if things become too predictable, you run into the old sci-fi idea of having a cloned world where everything is pre-planned. That's why the philosophy of knowing but not knowing must come into play. I won't make any decision on it now. Oh boy, I'm really burning my hand out. I don't want to stop though because I think I hit on an idea vein. I'm glad this is turning out to be a packed entry since it's a special one. Oh, thinking of this entry makes me want to get back on the subject of... The subject is, however, there is none. I'll just keep on writing like I do and keep getting better at it. I have accomplished my goal though. I have made this a special entry and I've come up with some good ideas to make it special by going back and reviewing old ones. 8 pages is definitely my best entry yet. Oh no! I just remembered I have to summarize today's events. That's good though because they are an interesting part to my entries, these summarizations. They would make the material for the things I do in my life to compare to the way I think. Although I can't put much stock in the idea that you think the way you live, because I hardly think like my life runs. But then again, my life is the way I think. Anyway, today I got up early again. My eyes played a trick on me. I'm glad they did. I looked at the clock, which looked to say 10:30. I leapt out of bed because I didn't want to sleep that late. I got dressed, then looked about to see the sun. It looked a little low for 10:30, so I spied my clock, which now said 8:30. This was okay. I thought my day would be short, and was set to believe it when this great switch came on, and I automatically had 2 extra hours for myself. I did my morning stuff, and got ready to go into the town with Sue and Joe for some Christmas shopping. My pictures aren't in yet. It's been 7 weeks because of them losing them. We went all over and I went into Bookland to look for the book Cosmos. Now the whole deal with the book is interesting. I originally planned to get the book for my brother Scott, until I saw the price, $19.95. I then didn't know what to do. I knew I wanted the book, but who, for Scott or me? Now Joe wanted the book too and wanted me to help him rip it off. I refused because this was more to me than just a book. He left pissed off. He didn't have the money to get it. So I lingered around more, deciding what to do. I ended up placing my $21.15 on the counter and walking out with the book. Now I was really confused. I paid an outrageous price for a book that I wanted bad, but originally wanted for someone else. I went into ShopRite with Sue, but Joe wasn't around. He had gone off to Bookland and ripped off another one of the books himself. Now I was really pissed and couldn't hide it. When we got home, the strain was on me, and as I talked to Joe, he knew it. He wanted to know why. I explained the real reason first. I paid lots while he paid nothing, etc., etc. But then that didn't help the situation, so I changed the story to make the problem a little easier. I proceeded to tell him that I got it for him for Christmas, and he already got his own. We both cracked up in relief, and things were good. I can't say I lied to him, because I didn't know who I really got the book for. He knew I was getting it for Scott. That's why he didn't pick up the idea. The incidents were not just a routine thing. This situation was unique. I had 3 loyalties to contend with: love for my brother, good relations with Joe, and knowledge for myself. You may think, why all this for a book? I will explain. This book, Cosmos, I can call it my Bible. It is packed with the greatest ideas of man in relation to where he lives. It's all about the scientific origins of the universe, right down to earth and man. It is my Bible because my religion is humanity, and that book is my backing for the true facts that I put my belief in. My religion is humanity, and what is really the place we live in is where I put my beliefs. Joe believes this too. That's why the book is important to him. All this goes off into many different things, but no way will I spend any more time tonight discussing. So, Joe's got my book and I've got his, and we're going to give them to each other for Christmas. I know what I'll do. I'll get my book back for Christmas, send it to Scott for his use, have him send it back for my use. I hope he doesn't think I'm being cheap to him, but if I had the money, I'd get him one. But then again, will the book be that important to him as it is to me? I make it seem that way because I like it so much. It's symbolic, I guess you could say. I hope he takes care of it when I send it to him. Everything worked out great. Oh, let me stop now, please. No more. The rest of the day was fine. 9:44 p.m. Good day and goodbye. Well, here is what we're talking about. Cosmos by Carl Sagan. And the great misunderstanding and caper behind this. Inside here is a note from my brother at the time. Let's read it. Merry Christmas. This is 1980. To Professor Changer. With the knowledge you obtain from this book, use it to make Jesus freaks realize the truth of our existence. There will be no everlasting life for all, and no earth paradise in years to come. It's all a fantasy world idea. Anyone who chooses to believe that probably watches too much Fantasy Island. You understand the facts. It's your duty as a human to help lead the rest of our civilization to the right way. Try and keep an open mind. Not laugh too much at religious persons. They're human too. Take it easy. 15 years old, taking care of each other, wanting to give each other the best gifts possible. Whatever the belief system was at the time, it's what it was at the time. Maybe we'll do an episode where we get Joe on and find out where we stand on things versus where we were 40 years ago. Let me know in comments if you want us to do that. Bye.